Hey, good morning, everyone. Pastor Chris here. Welcome to the Poolside Chat. In John chapter 6, there's a series of events. Starts off with Jesus on the feeding the 5,000 people with the loaves and fishes. And all these people see this miracle. So it says at the end of this, after the people saw the sign Jesus performed, they began to say, "Surely this is the prophet who is to come into the world." Jesus, knowing that they intended to come and make him king by force, withdrew again to a mountain by himself. So he left. And then it says, next, verse 16, when evening came, his disciples went down to the lake, where they got in a boat and set across the lake, Sea of Galilee, into Capernaum. Storm comes up, and Jesus walks on water, joins them. So they crossed the Sea of Galilee into Capernaum. The people, the 5,000 who were fed, found him. They found him on the other side of the lake. "Rabbi, how did you get here?" And Jesus said, "Very verily I tell you, you are looking for me, not because you saw the signs I performed, but because you ate the loaves and had your fill." So it says, "Do not work for food that spoils, but for food that endures to eternal life, which the Son of Man will give you, for on him God the Father has placed his seal of approval." So Jesus gives his sermon, "I am the bread of life." And "I am" is an important phrase. It says, "I am the bread of life. I am the living water. I am the way. I am the truth. I am Yahweh." Remember back in the Old Testament, Moses asked God his name. "I am that I am." I am is my name, Yahweh. So when Jesus calls himself Yahweh, he is calling himself God. So these people eat, see the miracle. Jesus retreats by himself. The disciples cross to Capernaum. Jesus walks on water, joins them in the boat. People find him on the other side, and he gives his sermon. "I am the bread of life." And towards the end of the sermon, the people start arguing. Is this really God? He's calling himself "I am." This is blasphemy. No, we saw the miracle. It's true. Is he, isn't he? Type of argument. And then verse 53, Jesus says, and this is how he closes it out. "Very truly I tell you, unless you eat the flesh of the Son of Man and drink his blood, you have no life in you." Lost my place. "Whoever eats my flesh and drinks my blood has eternal life, and I will raise them up at the last day." So he gives this talk and says, "Eat my flesh and drink this blood." End of it. "This is the bread that came down from heaven. Your ancestors ate manna and died. But whoever feeds on this bread will live forever." He said this while teaching in the synagogue in Capernaum, in their church. So all these people, including the disciples, hear this. And this is what I want you to hear. The last part of this. On hearing it, many of his disciples said, "This is a hard teaching. Who can accept it?" And it is, buddy. And it is a hard teaching. Somebody tells you, "Eat their flesh and drink their blood." Aware that his disciples were grumbling about this, Jesus said to them, "Does this offend you? Then what if you see the Son of Man ascend to where he was before? The Spirit gives life. The flesh counts for nothing. The words I have spoken to you, they are full of the Spirit and life. Yet there are some of you who do not want to believe. Jesus had known from the beginning which of them did not believe and who would betray him. He went on to say, this is why I told you that no one can come to me unless the Father has enabled them. From this time, many of his disciples turned back and no longer followed him. You do not want to leave too, do you? Jesus asked his 12 disciples. And Simon Peter, God bless him, I've said this a lot, I love this. Simon Peter answered and said, Lord, to whom shall we go? You have the words of eternal life. We have come to believe and know that you are the Holy One of God. I've had a lot of questions on a lot of different topics. And all of it is confusion. War's going to end, war's not going to end. Why are people so hateful? Why are people so good? Why does the devil seem to be winning? Why are all these people running to God, becoming Christians? Why is everyone against illegal immigrants? Shouldn't we welcome the stranger? It's like life doesn't make sense. And it doesn't at the moment. And I wanted to remind you that at this point in time, Jesus feeds the 5,000. The people want to make him a king and he goes away. The disciples cross the lake, Sea of Galilee, to Capernaum. Jesus walks on water. All these miracles. The disciples find him, and he tells them, I am the bread of life. Eat my flesh and drink my blood if you want to follow me and have a part of me. And they don't understand. I don't understand a lot that goes on today, like you. But what I do understand is what Peter said. You are the Christ, the Son of the living God. You have the words of life. Where shall we go? So guys, when things don't make sense, just hold on to God. That is the one thing we have that no one can take away. And let me leave you with that. Keep the questions coming. I'm Pastor Chris. Follow me on Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble at FL Compass Church. And now on Instagram at FL Compass Church. Have a fantastic rest of the week. And I'll see you Saturday.